So hello everyone, today we are going to start with day 8 and the first command we are going to see here is block command. So shortcut key for block command is B enter, say B enter. The first step is to specify the name. I'm going to specify one name here. I'll say 4DI Infotech. Second step is to select the objects. So I'm going to select this object here, say enter. Third step is to add the pick point. So I'm going to add this pick point here. This point is going to be the point by which we are going to insert the block if we required it again. So I'm going to specify this midpoint as a pick point. Now you have three options. First one is retain block, second is convert to block, and third one is delete block. So if you use retain block, it means the current selected object will not be blocked, but one copy of this block will be saved that we can insert it later. Second option is given convert to block. If I go with this option, then the selected entity will also become a block and it also will be saved for later if you want to insert the block again. Third one is delete. So if I go with this option, the selected entity will be deleted but will be made block and we can call it later by using insert. So these are the three options. We are going to see one by one here. First I'm going to select retain. Now when you click this diagram, you can see it is not converted to a single object. Each selection is coming separately, means it is not converted to a block. But if I go in insert, block has been inserted by the name of 4DI Infotech. So block was made, but not the current selected sketch was been blocked. So you can call this block later. Now it is coming in green color because the layer of dimensions was on. If I want to change the layer, we can change it here. Select and then change the layer required. Next, again we are going to go for block, specify one name here, but this time we are going to say convert to block, then select object. So I'm going to select this object and this object will be converted to block itself. Say enter, add pick point. Say OK again. Now we can see after a click, all the entities are selected with dimensions. It is because this time the sketch is converted to block and even it is saved as a block. We can see in insert here. So this was the name RDY and we can see it is converted to block. The third type in block we are going to see here, say B enter, specify the name. This time we are going to say as delete, then select the objects we require to make the block. So I'm going to select this sketch here, say enter again and say delete and then add the pick point. Say OK. Now this sketch has been deleted but it is converted to block. We want to see, then we can go in insert and here we can see FGH named block has been created. So in this way we can use that three options in the block, whether you want to retain, you want to convert to block, or you want to go for delete option. Each condition block will be made but the current sketch will have the different conditions. Now if I want to insert this block again, we can directly go to insert and drag whatever named block you want. It will be placed here in the drawing. But suppose if I want to take another drawing, say this drawing 1, and I want that block to be called here also. The blocks which were created in the last drawings are not been displayed here. It is because we are working on the next drawing. So if I want to call that block here also, then we are going to make it block by different method. So for that we are going to use write block. Shortcut key for write block command is WB enter. Select the objects we need to make a block. Say select object. We are going to make this one as a block here. Say enter. And now we need to add pick point. So I'm going to add a pick point also here. Lastly, we need to specify the path where you want to save this block. So I'm going to specify this path here. Now this is different than the first command. We need to specify the path also in write block. So I'm going to place it somewhere here on the desktop. We'll name it, say 4DI B1. Save it on the desktop, say OK and finish. Now we'll go to drawing 1 and here we are going to call that block which we have saved here. Go to insert and instead of calling it from directly here, we are going to go for this more options. Here we are going to browse the file which we have saved. So here we have this file 4DI B1. Select that file, say open, say OK again, and we can see this drawing has been called here as a block. So in this way you can use write block, by which we can call the block in another drawings also. One more time, we have this drawing here. We are going to use write block here. Say WB as a shortcut key. Say convert to block instead of written this time. Then select the objects. Say enter. Add a pick point and save where you want to save. So this time we are going to change the path. We are going to save it in D drive. Here I am going to give a different name. So I'll say block 2. Save it in D drive. Say OK again. And now when you change the drawing, you can call it here also. Go to insert option, more options, say browse, and we are going to go on D drive. And here you will get the required block, that is block 2. Say open, say OK, and the block which was made in last drawing is now here. We can utilize it in the other drawing also. So in this way you can use block command. Now if I want to edit any block, suppose if I want to change the size of this dimension in this block, if I go directly for D enter, say modify and go for overall scale size, I'm going to say 3 times, say OK and set current, close. So the text size is not being changed here. It is because this diagram is already been made as a block diagram. So if I want to change or edit the sketch or diagram or edit any size of the dimensions, then you need to say edit block. For that you need to double click on this block. This option will appear there asking edit block definition. So here we need to select the required block you want to edit. I'm going to say block 2, say OK again, and here we can edit the block. We can see the background is going to come in white color. Go to home tab, and now if you want to add any sketch, if you want to add lines, if you want to make layers, if you want to change the sizes of this text, every editing work which can be done outside can be done in block editor also. So we are going to edit the text size here. For that we are going to say D enter for dimension style manager. The earlier texts were edited in this dimension style that was named Sagar. So I'm going to select SGR, say modify, and here I'm going to change the fit size. So fit size I'm going to keep this time here is 6 times, means double. I'm also going to put off this option, that is draw dimension lines between extension lines. You can see in the preview window. I'll put off this option so this line will not appear there as you are showing radius. Say OK, set current and close. So this text size is been increased, as well as the lines which were coming from the center reference are been removed. If I want to edit the diagram also, I can add any geometrical entity or modify the sketch by using modification tools. So I'm going to add one circle here, add this radius as 16, and lastly we are going to say close block editor so as to save the changes which we have made in block 2. Now we can see here this block has been made as well as the changes are been saved. Same thing if I have done here directly without editing the block. Suppose if I am going to add one circle here also, say this center point, and we are going to add one circle here. We want to mirror it, so I'm going to select the circle, go for this 2 reference point. We can mirror it also here, but as you select the block, it is been selected just by one click, but the circles are not included by the selection. So if I move this block, those circles will remain at their place only because they are not considered as the part of this block. So if you want to change any diagram or you want to edit or add these sketches, better you go for this double click and edit block definition option only, and then you modify the sketch you require. I'll say mirror only here. Say enter. Say close block editor, save changes to block, and this block has this changes been saved now. The circles are also been added. So in this way you can edit the blocks here. We have seen how to make a block, how to insert any block, and how to edit block, as well as we have seen how to call this block in another drawings. Now the next command we are going to see here is boundary command. For that I'm going to modify this sketch here. Suppose if I go for line command and if I add some cutouts here, I'm going to trim this line here, say TR, double enter. Now if I want to show any dimension, suppose I want to show this step dimension, I'm going to go for linear dimensions, select the 2 points, and we can see that dimension is coming as 3.7. But if I give it here only, it will be complicated to understand and the dimensions will overlap the geometry. Because of that, we cannot see the proper shape of this geometry. So to avoid that, I am deleting this dimension here and I am going to take this detail view of the selected portion which I want to dimension. For that, I am going to say one circle here. I have covered in this circle the feature I want to dimension. Next, we are going to say boundary command. Shortcut key for boundary command is PO, enter. Now, in boundary can be made by using two options, that is region and polyline. So I'm going to use polyline only here. You just need to say pick points. Click on this pick point option and require to give the pick point here. So I'm going to give the pick point somewhere here in this complete close area as well as in this area also. There are two areas been selected by using pick point. You just need to click in this blank area and the pick point will be selected. Say enter, and now two overlapping boundaries are being created. You can see the first one and this second one. We are going to move these boundaries aside by using move command. Say M, enter, select both the boundaries, say enter, specify one base point and we are going to move it somewhere here. Now the boundaries which were made overlapped on this drawing are being moved here and now there is no boundary being remaining here. So I'm going to scale this diagram for showing the detail view. So this boundary command can be used to show the detail views of any intricate shapes in the mechanical drawings. So I'm going to scale it, say SC, enter, select the objects to scale, say enter again, specify the base point and the scale factor we are going to put here is 4 times. So now this diagram is being shown 4 times larger as usual. But one more problem will arise here. Earlier the dimension for this line was coming 3.7. We can see here the linear dimension was 3.7. But if I give this dimension here only, then it will overlap the diagram and the diagram will not be understood clearly. That's why we have taken the boundary aside and then we have shown in the detail view. But as you take the detail view, the size of this diagram is increased so as the value will be increased. We can see here. But we are supposed to show the 1:1 scale value, that is 3.7 only. So to solve this issue, we can say D, enter for dimension style manager and we are going to create one new dimension style. Say copy to of Sagar, say continue, and in primary units, as we have scaled the diagram by 4 times, we are going to change the scale factor also, dividing this 1 value by 4. So instead of 1, I am going to take the scale factor as 1 by 4. It is because we have scaled it by 4 times, that's why I am taking 4 here, 1 by 4. Say enter, say OK, set current and close. Now if I go for dimension again, it will show me the correct value, that is 3.7. It is coming now. So in this way you can use the boundary command to show the intricate parts by moving it aside and scaling it and then specifying the values here. In mechanical concept, it is very important to use boundaries so as to show the detail views. Next command we are going to see here is wipeout. Shortcut key for wipeout command is WI, enter. Say WI, enter, and now we need to click the points so as to create a boundary around the sketch you want to hide. Suppose I am creating one boundary around this sketch. I am going to cover all the sketch in the boundary and then click the last click. Say escape, say enter. Now to use wipeout, the shortcut key command is WI, enter. Select the object you want to wipe out. Wipe out means this object will be hidden within the boundary. So I'm going to make one boundary around this object, maybe of any shape. And when you click the last click here, just say enter and the object in between the boundary will be hidden here. Only when the cursor will be moved over it, it will be shown. All the things coming in the boundary are been hidden. Even the grid is also been hidden here. Now if I move this boundary, say M, enter, from one point to another. So whatever object is going to cover, it will hide that objects here. You can see. Now suppose if I want to hide this wipeout boundary also, then again use the same shortcut WI, enter. Go for this frames option below here. It is asking here whether you want to show the display boundary or you want to off the wipeout display boundary. So I'm going to say off. Now the boundary is also been hidden here. And suppose if I put off this grid option also, then it will be hard to judge at which area we have made that boundary here. Only when you drag the cursor, you will see the boundary. After putting off this grid option, it will be more difficult for us to find out the wipeout sketch as well as the boundary. So if I want to show them again, I'll say W, I enter the same shortcut key, go to frames in command manager line, put on the frames option, and the frame will be shown again. Yeah. Select this frame and say delete. The object covered in the frame will be visible again. So in this way you can use wipeout command. I'll say WI wipeout, say enter. This time I'm going to hide both these objects here. So I'm going to make one wipeout boundary around these two objects. Make sure that other things are not selected in this boundary. Only that two objects are been selected. Now say enter. If I want to hide this frame border also, say WI enter again. Go to frames. Put off this frame option here. At the lower left side we can see this in command manager line. Put off this option. And this wipeout boundary is also been hidden now. Now if I want to show this wipeout boundary again, say WI enter. Go to frames. Put on the display for the frame. Say on. And this wipeout boundary is visible. If I want to delete it, select it and delete it directly. The objects included within that wipeout boundary are being shown now. So this was the wipeout command. We have seen how to make blocks, how to use write blocks, how to use boundary command, as well as how to use wipeout command. These were the points we are going to see today. We are going to continue with the further drawings and commands in later lectures. Till then, thank you.